It's that season when the so-called big movies,
Yeah.
some call them critic-proof
Yes.
films,
Yes.
come out. And I was excited about the Avengers because I liked Iron Man. And then I read your review, which was a little mixed. I don't
it was a
I
little
don't think
disappointing.
everybody liked your review. I think I saw
No.
Samuel Jackson on Twitter.
Nick Fury himself
Nick Fury
unleashed
was
some fury
furious
on me and said, in fact, that I should find a new job, one that I could actually do.
Wow.
And
so he was criticizing your criticism.
he was coming right at me, and a lot of people joined in the crusade against me, and then a lot of people, heroically came to my defense, saying that it was very brave.
Well,
of
after
me.
all, Nick Fury was after you, so you could use some help.
Right. A lot of people are going to see it, are having a good time.
You're out to spoil that.
No, I'm not out to spoil that. But how
little
could
bit.
I spoil that? But how could I, if you read my review and then you went and saw the movie and had a good time, how would my review of it affect that?
It is.
anyway?
It's a little unfair because you're at least a critic who will enter big films and look around, and there's some who just have a reflexive opposition to scale. There is.
That's another myth. I'm sorry. I'm just.
Whoa.
Yeah. There's an idea, which is, I think, very hard to substantiate, that critics are hostile to the popular forms of the art forms that they review. I don't think that's true. Most of the movie critics that I know, all of the movie critics who I respect, are open to all different kinds of movies, big, small, kids movies, serious
You're
movies,
just defending
long,
your
short.
posse. There's. Come on.
No, I'm not. I'm defending what it is that we do, and what I don't understand is why that should be a threat.
Well, part of what's going on is people have begun to take back the sort of custody of the critical narrative, that it's not, that it just doesn't belong to professionals, that it's been democratized. And so I was hoping we didn't get sort of locked into a big throwdown about movies, and I actually like your movie reviews, truth be told, but broaden out to the value of criticism in general. We stepped down to talk to Roberta Smith, who reviews visual art for us and has been doing it for a long, long time.
And knows a lot about how it's done.
Too many artists whose work I have written negatively about, who have museum retrospectives, sell out gallery shows all the time, for me to think that I'm making or breaking careers. I mean, and I find that, kind of liberating in a way. Everybody who's looking at art seriously, everybody's always voting in one way or the other. We all vote. My vote has a kind of immediacy and a kind of prominence for a while, but after a while it's just another vote. Collectors vote, people who talk to each other in bars and recommend shows vote, people who tweet vote. It's a mess, and that's what makes it kind of amazing.
You want to enter into a discussion of it. You want to formulate your own ideas and clarify your own ideas and engage with other people's experience of that. And it's
You make it sound so warm and cuddly, but in fact, you'll take something that people have sweated over for years on end, sunk their life into, and you'll grab a hold of it, you'll look at it, and you'll go, tsh, and snap it right in half. Say, you know what? This really is not
here's the
very
thing.
good.
If you're engaged in creative work, and I think most critics have enormous respect for people who are engaged in that work, you are nonetheless submitting yourself to judgment. This is not a progressive kindergarten, all right? It's not, you did a nice job, you tried really hard. What you're pursuing is excellence, is truth, is beauty, and
But there is no objective excellence, no objective truth.
No, but there's
There's only your subjective version of it.
Do you really think that's true? I mean, do you really think that there's no common project of deciding what's beautiful and what's good and what's true? I don't think it's ever arrived at for all time. But I don't think that you or anyone else actually believes that we just carry around our own little private, canons of taste that we just sort of protect. Otherwise, we'd never talk about any of this stuff. Otherwise, why would we have an art section in the newspaper? Why would we go to movies with our friends?
We wouldn't
Why
have
would we have
settled
book
on
clubs?
certain things, whether it be the Sistine Chapel or the work of the Strokes, as common examples of excellence. So there must be something.
But it's hard to define and hard to formulate, maybe impossible. You know,
Well, it's not just
and say
because
that
you
was
said
better than
so.
another. No. I would hate to think that people formulate their opinions just based on what I said so, or
Really?
what any other critic. Yeah, I'm not interested in mind control.
I think many critics are, though.
See, you keep inventing these imaginary critics who do and think all of these terrible things.
I'm going to make a monster
every
movie
other
about
kind
critics sometime, and then it'll be critically panned. Here, I
No,
want to
critics
get
will
back
love
to
it.
this.
We're filled like all
With
like all writers
self-hatred.
with self-loathing and
Right.
and
Okay.
neurosis
I want to get back to
and
this
wounded
thing though.
pride.
When you ruin something, a couple of years ago, I wrote a book, and it was generally well reviewed, but there were a couple of reviews
Yeah.
that just tore its arms and legs off. And I got to tell you, it hurt.
Yes.
It really hurt.
After a while, you do learn that it does hurt. You know that it's somebody's work and effort there.
So
or-
have
or
you,
set out to
A.O.
do.
Scott, mellowed?
I
Sounds
don't
like
know.
it. Sounds like a little.
Maybe a little, but then every time I think I have something will come along that just makes me mad. Like the Lorax, a very popular movie that everyone
You
went to see.
pounded on this darling little children's
It's
character
a
until
hateful
it.
and despicable movie. It's a
Whoa.
crime against childhood. It was an insult to the imagination of one of the great
Boy, I
creative
hit the
artists
critic
of the
button
20th
there.
century, Dr. Seuss. It's an abomination. But other than that, I'm mellowed.
Whoa. Do you ever, right before you go to bed or when you wake up the next morning, think to yourself, who am I? Who am I to say this stuff? Who appointed me, really, emperor of all things good and horrible?
Well, I don't think of myself as emperor of
You're
anything.
a film critic for the New York Times. You've got a big box of lightning bolts on your desk. It takes a
Use it
certain
as
form of arrogance, is what I'm saying.
I'll plead guilty to that.
Okay.
But criticism is its own thing. It's its own taste, and people who want it.
Who wants someone to come and spoil their fun?
Yes, people who are masochistic,
Intellectualize something
and
beyond.
insecure. Those are my people. That's my constituency. The people who need their lives ruined. I'm here for you.